Okay, so now we made it to the next section. So again, we're building on what we've already introduced to you. Take time to really understand these concepts, but remember the rules and the principles. This is what's going to help you better understand how to use forms and submit them, understanding what's under the hood. This is what this whole section is about. Because when we get over into React, again, it's declarative, it's more abstraction, it's just chaining methods and components together. So here we need to understand how it works underneath it all. So if you're new to this channel and you would like to follow along with the curriculum, the link is in the description. Let's get into it. Post form submissions. Form submissions using post. This is one of the HTTP verbs, and these are the ones you're going to use frequently. There's a few more than just the ones that we're going to use frequently, but the ones you definitely want to get your head wrapped around are get and post. Instead of using get and query parameters to submit form data, we can use post to submit a form using a post request. Set the form's method attribute to post. Form data submitted via post will be submitted in the body of the HTTP request. Data submitted by GET request is less secure than post. Pay attention. GETs are less secure than post because GET requests URLs and the query parameters are cached and logged, possibly leaked sensitive data. That's why when you look up here inside my bar right here, address bar, we have this page right here. And one of the things you got to understand, back in the day before everything was kind of secure, people were creating websites basically without understanding the security of their websites. And so a lot of information was being posted inside of these URLs, inside this address bar. And people who want to hack your system was able to get a lot of metadata just from that. So that's what it's talking about, and you want to be very careful with that. This is why we're saying use post. But of course, there's still more to securing your applications and your websites than just using these verbs. But that's beyond this course right here. But we're going to help you understand how to submit a form. Now, form with method attribute. This is the method attribute. So here in the form, we have an action, and we're keeping it empty for now. The method is post. And so here we have the label, username, input nested inside of the label. It's the type is text. The attribute is username. Same for here, the same setup. And then we have a submit button. All of this is linked together inside of the form. Send form submission to a server. The action and method attributes allows us to choose where the form request will be sent and what type of request will be sent. How do we configure what happens in response to a form submission? Form handlers are web server actions that receive, inspect, and process requests. They then send a response to the client. For this unit, we are going to use form handlers that have already been created for us. So here we go. Now notice here, the action we're passing in this address right here, this URL, this path. The method is a post. We want to post this information now. Whatever that we type in the username input and the team name input, then hit submit. This is the action we want to take, and we want to post it to that particular location. Now what you need to do is open and try this. Open up this particular file that we have in the JavaScript project. Now the file in the browser, open the network tab of the developer tools, like so. It's going to be empty until you refresh the page. Now enter the data into the input. Type tracking into the username and type request into the team name input. Then click the button. Now when you do this, this is what the input is going to give you back. We have the post right here down as the method. It's a 200. It was successful. And then in the team name, it was a request, and the user name is tracking. So it populated for us. Now Firefox browsers with request handler loaded and network tabs showing request. Now what you need to do is inspect the data sent in the post request down here. So when you highlight it and you click it, this window is going to pop up. It has the headers, the cookies, and request. And here is the request information right here, form data. Now using post for form submission adds a very low level of security. Using HTTPS instead of HTTP adds a higher level of security. Configuring HTTPS beyond the scope of this class. Check your understanding. Now, understand the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. We've talked about this already. We introduced this to you. The S is just stands for security. Now, this is a little bit of a nugget for you. When you're building your own websites, you want to use it's called a SSL certificate, and you get them free with some domains, but they are different levels to SSL certificates. The one that you get free, they're limited, but it still has a layer of protection that you wouldn't get just with HTTP. So Google is not indexing websites with HTTP. You have to have a HTTPS. That's just a little nugget that I want to share with you. Now, that's the end of this video. And remember, the more you do, the more you improve. See you in the next section.